Everyone. This is Brad Matheny. Today is the 6th of February. We are looking at a counter trend day today. Very interesting to see if this plays out. Now, the last couple rally days have been very clean. I mean, obviously, you look at the SPY chart here. We had our Monday right over here with the big breakdown coming up, then a Tuesday and a Wednesday rally. Today is the counter trend rally. Now, I would expect in a counter trend rally a downward trending bar. Now, there could be news that breaks this downward bar downward. It could be just a rollover in price. I don't know. I'm just telling you again what the patterns say and what I'm expecting. I expected a bit of a rollover yesterday afternoon. It looked at first we were going to get one, and then it just kind of melted upward. We're up a little higher today, up 0.19%, 605.37. Sure will be interesting to see if this peaking area, you can see we're up at this 605.37. If I auto scale here, you can see that we're right up in this upper zone, right up here, right above this channel. And again, if my analysis is correct, this would be a decent little topping rotation right over here. It would certainly align with running into this resistance area of this apexing flag right here. We're kind of rolling right into that deep resistance area, 605, 606, and could get a good solid roll down. Let's come over here and just for the heck of it, see what kind of data we have today. We have already gone through jobs data coming in a little stronger, jobless data, non-farm productivity. We end up with total sales, natural gas, Fed speak later today, near the end of the day, and that's about it. And then tomorrow, we should end up with our typical Friday stuff, which is our CBOT data and jobs data, non-farm payroll, and then FOMC, Michigan update, consumer sentiment, and looks like then we go into GDP now, and then here we go into speculative positions, the CFTC speculative positions. So again, nothing massive in terms of major news. Let's take a look at earnings. What do we have coming out in earnings? Typically, near the middle of the month, we end up getting some good earnings. We've got Amazon today, tonight, Eli Lilly. What do we have here? ICE, Air Products, looking for bigger names. Cloudflare later. Grupo Mexico, Monolith, Hershey's already come out. Amazon could be big. I expect Amazon to do well, but who knows? First Energy, Pinterest will come out later. Expedia will come out later today. VeriSign will come out later. CMS Energy, boy, we got a slew of earnings coming out. Ralph Lauren, Reinsurance of America, $5 potential billion earning, and when did I lock up? Something happened. All right. Well, that page seemed to kind of lock up. I don't know what was going on over there. I'll come back to it later. But again, I'm looking for a breakdown. I'm looking for us to come back down into this maybe 599 area, 599.54, and really potentially be in, this downward area, down maybe 4 or 5 points today. And again, it just plays out that, I'm playing the patterns. So the patterns will coordinate into a downward cycle potentially. Looks like again on the QQQ here, we're up above this upper resistance area. would be a nice little breakdown here if it does happen. Could easily see us move down into this area, into the 521 area, maybe down here into the 518 area. So kind of looking for maybe a roll down like this if we get the breakdown today and or tomorrow, because that's what we're looking at here, guys. We're looking at, if these patterns are correct, we'll get a counter trend rally today, which will be a shove downward, and then we'll get a carryover mode on Friday, moving into our deep V pattern. Now remember, our deep V pattern way back over here, our deep V pattern sets up right here. Okay, deep V pattern on the 9th, moving into a peak bottom on the 10th. I'm interpreting that as a breakdown mode into the 10th, moving down then into another major bottom on the 21st right here. So that's why I'm interpreting this whole thing as a breakdown mode, which means that I think we're going to be rolling down into this area here. Okay, we'll see how it plays out, but counting on essentially at this point the patterns being accurate, rolling into a DV. Now, DV pattern, I've highlighted the DV pattern could be potentially down here, a really big breakdown. But, looking at where we're at, looking at how we're consolidating, the DV pattern at this point with this flagging, you can see I've drawn this kind of a purple flagging area. I mean, in reality, a deep V pattern could be like this, rolling out of this flag before we try to move higher. So that would mean coming down and retesting this 502 area, 500, 505, 502 as a kind of a bare minimum here. Okay, let's go take a look at gold and silver. Gold and silver, I'm going to try to keep these videos shorter. Moving into kind of a nothing day. If we do get the breakdown in the SPY and the QQQ with the counter trend rally, then gold and silver will likely move downward. Yeah, something's running really slow over here. My charts are just not responding. There we go. Slow and steady, I guess. So we are getting a little bit of a breakdown in metals. Nothing huge yet. This is a 1 hour chart of gold and a 1 hour chart of silver. You can see that, this was yesterday's and the previous day's rally. We're coming back over here to about the 4th, which was the beginning of this month, Monday, Tuesday, and then we move into Wednesday here. So we've already kind of wiped out most of Tuesday and Wednesday's gain. Over here in silver. Gold has not yet. This is Tuesday over here. We are rolling into this downward counter trend. So you can see here that we're kind of channeling through this downward cycle. And I would suggest that if metals move into kind of a panic selling, which could happen through some sort of a move, we could be looking at some kind of a downward trend through here, down back into this area, and that would essentially correlate with a downward move in the SPY. Okay, metals tend to move into a panic selling mode if the SPY and QQQ break down. So be aware, if we get a breakdown move today, you're probably going to see metals move down as well. And lastly, we'll come back over here and wait for everything to load. I'll probably have to reset my system today. There we go. And Bitcoin, 98. Come on. 98 to 98,300. So again, 1 hour Bitcoin chart. You can see where we're at. Rolling into February. Wait for everything to load here. And you can see that we've rolled into this deeper low, which is basically the same lows we set up back over here, here, back at the end of 2025. And essentially set up right here, December 20th. Actually, back over here, we set the first low and back over here. So, I mean, I could Oops, get rid of those. Carry that back to there, carry that back to there. I'll get rid of that little dot later. But again, I think that we're looking at a broader breakdown. So when you understand how these patterns are setting up and the fact that we've rolled into this excess phase peak pattern here and rolled down, we have broken this red one. So you can see the red one has now broken up, which is, again, that's fine. Where that would indicate that we could move back up to this area, right? Trying to break below the flag high, in this case, right over here. Whereas we've also broken down in this one, trying to move down to the flag low. So the flag low, we've already gotten below. We've already broken into this resistance channel. I think personally, Bitcoin stays kind of within this mode here and tries to eventually move downward into this channel, simply because we do not have any real confirmation yet that we would need to break it. This area here would be resistance. So understand that that's going to be resistance, and this is going to be support. So I'll mark it, I guess, different. And be aware that, we are going to potentially channel within this range. And again, trying to move into this consolidation. You can also see that, we have a pretty solid channeling range coming down like this. So we'll see how it plays out through that channel range. But it would make sense to me that this move here, would be kind of the more likely rolling type of a pattern to the downside. And why is that? It's because we have the dominant trend still moving downward. Yeah, I don't know why. Let's try this again. No drawing. Okay. Try it again. There we go. And so lower highs, and you can see here lower lows. I would think that we are moving in a downtrend given this direction and given the fact that we're going to potentially break down. So again, kind of aware of the structure of the markets and understanding that, we could easily see a rally from this 98,000 up here to this 102 area, maybe even higher. But at the same point in time, we could see a rollover contraction down to this 92, 93, maybe even lower area. And that seems very dominant right now. This breakdown pattern is already broken down. We have yet to try to get above this flag high. This is where that inverted pattern would need to get to move to the next stage. We haven't gotten there yet. Whereas this breakdown pattern here has already broken to this new low. So we're in kind of a downtrend until things change. And the only way that's going to happen is we have to get back above this 102, call it 102,500. Okay. This area or higher would be bullish. Right now, we are technically bearish in a downward trend. And if we come in here and try to really look at the short term, you can see that we're right into this flagging area here, running into resistance. So I could technically say that if we get above 99,300, then we would be bullish. 99,300. We would be bullish. And if we get below 97.9, then we're technically bearish. Okay, let's go back over here to the SPY. Looks like I'm going to be reloading my PC today because it's acting very slow. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at a breakdown pattern. So be aware that I'm going to be watching for this counter trend rally. A counter trend rally is basically just like we saw yesterday and the day before, a good solid rally bar, but in the opposite direction. So we'll see how this plays out. We'll see if it starts early. We'll see if it shows up at all. But I'm looking for a counter trend rally right now. Okay, guys, talk to you later.